All righty, we're in the kitchen with Chef Michael Kellum from Riverwalk Restaurant in Yorktown. And Michael, you're making a feast, not one, not two, but three things for us. What are you making for us?
Well, good morning, Hampton Roads. Thank you for having me back on here.
Glad to have you.
Thank you. Father's Day this Sunday.
Right.
We're going to do a Father's Day themed lunch. Appetizers going to be oyster stew. Entrees going to be seared ribeye with sauteed okra, shrimp, and crab meat.
Very nice.
And for dessert, it's going to be bananas fostered.
Wow. So you're covering all your bases here. You got a little fruit, you got a little beef, and you got a little seafood. And nobody does oysters better than the Riverwalk.
Thank you so much. The past couple of times I've been on here, I've been doing something oyster. So today I'm going to do oyster stew. So right now what I have here in the pot is
Well, actually, we're going to get started in just a moment, okay? This is just a big tease here. All right, so Michael Kellum from Riverwalk's getting started, so stick around, everybody. We are back in the kitchen with Chef Michael Kellum from Riverwalk Restaurant in Yorktown. He's making a delicious three-course feast. Great to treat your dad this Sunday for Father's Day. Michael, like I said, welcome back to the Hampton Roads Show. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Nobody does oysters better than the Riverwalk Restaurant.
Thank you so much. Right now we'll be preparing some oyster stew. And what I have here in the pot is that I melted a half cup of butter with a cup of pureed celery and 3 tablespoons of pureed shallots.
So this is the appetizer to the three-course meal, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's the trick here? Because you've been working hard for like 5 minutes now.
Well, you don't want it to brown
Right.
because you're going to pour a quart of half and half in there.
Okay.
And if every soup needs a base,
Right.
this is the base right here. So right now we're ready to pour it on in here.
Okay.
And I have here in the bowl 24 ounces of shucked oysters in their juice. You don't want to drain them. You want to incorporate that into the stew.
Very nice. That is a big bowl of oysters, though, right there, by the way.
Thank you. That's what we do. We're
you
very generous with our portions.
Yep. How are things at the restaurant these days?
They're going very well. We have just opened up the one in Gloucester County, which is the York River Oyster Company. We have Water Street Grill, which is right next door to Riverwalk, that
Very
has
nice.
20 beers on tap, live music on Fridays and Saturdays, and Riverwalk is doing very well.
Yeah, and what a beautiful restaurant, too, right there. We're looking out over the river. I mean, there's so much activity this time of year. It's a great place to have dinner. Maybe treat your father on Father's Day.
Please do. We do
Yep.
have a couple specials going on.
Okay, what are they?
We have a 3-course for $30 at Riverwalk. We're going to have bottomless beers and bottomless Bloody Marys. At Water Street Grill, we're going to have an ugly tie giveaway. The first 25 dads that come in, don't worry about giving your dad an ugly tie. We're going to do that for you.
Oh, really? You're gonna
Yes.
you're gonna hand out the
We're
ugly
going to hand out
ties.
the ugly ties.
Very nice. I think every man has an ugly tie in their.
Just bring your dad on
in the
down to
closet.
Water Street Grill and we'll give him the ugly tie.
That's right. Wait a couple years, it'll be ugly. So listen, what is a bottomless Bloody Mary, anyways?
A bottomless Bloody Mary is that it just keeps on refilling
on
its
filling?
magic.
Really magic.
We have a bunch of magicians who work
the
down
magic
there.
Bloody Mary there, huh?
A bunch of Merlins.
Bottomless beer too. I like the sound of that.
Thank you.
Okay, so how are we looking on the oyster stew?
We're gonna cover this pot.
Okay.
So bring it to a boil.
Right.
But then we're gonna start doing the entree course because it is a little complicated and it's a little time consuming.
Okay.
So right here I have some fresh okra I
Right.
cut up. And every cook, every kitchen needs a cast iron skillet. It's
Right.
your best friend. And the best thing about it is that it seasons itself. You never want to wash it. You just want to rub a little Crisco in it afterwards.
Really?
Yes.
Never wash it.
You never want to put any water near it because it will rust. And the more you cook in it, the more it gets seasoned.
Now
And
I know why my cast iron is rusty at home. I had no idea. Didn't come with directions, I guess.
And a good friend of mine gave me this cast iron skillet, and I thank him quite often
That's
for it.
very cool.
This is going to take about 5 minutes to cook.
Okay.
So what we're going to do here is that we're going to cook this for 5 minutes. Then we're going to transfer it back to the bowl. And then we're going to put our peeled and deveined shrimp, a little bit of olive oil, some crushed garlic, some salt and pepper, and some crushed red pepper.
Now, Michael, are you a fan of okra?
Actually, I became a fan of it after I tried it beer battered.
Oh, okay.
And the funny thing about okra is that when you cook it like this, it releases a liquid that thickens.
All right.
So that's why it's a staple in a lot of southern cooking. Gumbos, especially down in Louisiana, they have okra in everything.
Okra is in everything. Now, I'm really curious about Aubrey Aquino over here. Aubrey, do you even know what okra is?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've actually tried okra.
You haven't tried
This
okra?
may be a first for me.
You're
today.
trying okra today.
All right, looks good. Looks good.
You're going to try okra. We're trying some okra today. And I know okra does really well in stews too, right? My wife likes to use it in stews.
Because it naturally thickens.
Right.
You don't have to worry about making a roux, which is butter and flour.
Okay, very cool.
And already I have 2 ribeyes that I seared off. I had them resting over here.
Okay.
And when this gets close to done, I'm going to pop them back in the oven to get a little bit of heat to them. And we're going to serve this on top.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up the ribeyes, we're going to wrap up the oyster stew, and then we're going to start on the bananas Foster, which something tells me that's going to be a lot of fun too. Michael Kellen from Riverwalk. Thanks, man. Can't wait to try it. All right, over to the buzz. All right, bananas, shrimp, oysters. We got steak. We got a little bit of everything here because Chef Michael Kellen from Riverwalk Restaurant in Yorktown is making a Father's Day feast. Once again, he is doing oyster stew, ribeye with sauteed okra, and shrimp bananas Foster, shrimp and bananas Foster. For dessert.
For dessert.
You brought almost the whole restaurant with you, Michael.
Pretty much.
Well done.
I always overpack.
You overpack. And we're glad that you did because you have a feast for everybody and our audience is really hungry. So how are we looking on the oyster stew?
Oyster stew is completed. What you want to do is that when the cream comes to a boil, you want to put your oysters in, and when the ends curled up, they're good to go.
That's it, right?
So I'm going to put this on low heat now.
All right.
Right now, I've got the shrimp sauteing right here with a little bit of garlic and some crushed red pepper. A couple more minutes for this, they'll be complete. I have the okra right here in the bowl. That's already completed also. And I got another thing going right here. I got sauteed bananas. I got this in some sugar, banana liqueur, and just bananas.
It looks delicious.
And right here, I'm about to do the flambe for the rum.
Okay, so flambe it up, my man.
All right.
Just don't set the place on fire.
Well, you want to be very careful when you do this because it is dangerous. You don't want to have any open bottles of liquor around.
Right. Careful of the flame.
Right, I have some spiced rum right here. Go wait for the pan to get heated up. I'm going to get the crab meat out of here.
Okay. And while you're getting the crab meat, tell us about the Riverwalk restaurant and how things are going and what your plans are once again for Father's Day on Sunday.
For Father's Day, Riverwalk is doing a $30 entree. It has bottomless beers, bottomless Bloody Marys.
Bottomless.
It's going to have prime rib. Water Street Grill is going to have the Ugly Tie giveaway.
Nice.
The first 25 fathers that walk in, you don't have to worry about giving them an ugly tie. We're going to do it for you.
That's right.
And then Y-Rock is going to just do what they do best, and that's provide good service, great food, and lots of oysters to choose from.
Lots of oysters. So many options there at the Riverwalk restaurant.
All right, this pan's almost hot. I want to add a little dramatic effect for it. Add just a little bit more olive oil to this.
Okay. Shrimp looking good.
Thank you. You can't go wrong with a little bit of shrimp.
Can't go wrong with a little bit of shrimp, and when you go to Riverwalk, it's not a little bit, it's a whole lot.
It's a whole
Your
lot.
portions are tremendous there.
Thank you. I'm going to add this to the okra.
There you go.
Now I'm going to add these cherry tomatoes.
Nice little compliment.
These are heirloom tomatoes. I got these sliced in half, a little bit of salt and pepper, and a little bit of olive oil.
Now just a little bit of, you don't cook them very long, do you?
No, just about 2 minutes.
Right.
Until the skins start to sear. And then we'll add the crab meat to that.
Wow.
All right, let's see if this is hot enough.
You know, Michael's been really busy here. He's been working hard, as you can tell.
All right. Whoa, there we go.
Easy, my man.
Sorry about that.
Easy, my man.
We're gonna
Always get a little nervous when you guys start playing with fire.
What we're going to do is just cook off the alcohol. We're going to add it to the bananas.
Now, what kind of effect is that to it? I mean, is it just give it a little extra taste or what?
Well, spiced rum has well, first of it's liquor.
Right.
That's one of the, so it's got some flavors there in the spiced rum, and it just gives the bananas Foster that
little extra taste.
That little extra
taste.
taste
Kick too. Very nice.
All right.
Tomatoes look good. Shrimp
Thank
look
you.
good. Everything is looking amazing.
And what I have for a garnish for the oyster stew is I chiffonade some spinach.
Right.
And most importantly, you need some hot sauce, and you do that to your taste.
To your taste.
A little
Very
bit of
nice.
salt and pepper.
So let me. So on Sunday, is this one of the things that will be offered on the menu?
Oyster stew would be at Y-Rock.
Okay.
The okra, shrimp, and tomatoes, here we go. The oyster, shrimp, a ribeye would be at Water Street Grill.
Right.
And Riverwalk would do kind of like a bananas foster creme brulee thing.
Okay, very nice. So you got a little fire.
I got
a
three
little
things
Inferno
going on
here.
Exactly.
I almost feel like we should call the fire department for some reason.
no.
I don't know. Do we have a fire extinguisher handy?
There we go. It's almost done.
Okay, so listen, we are almost out of time, and before you add that to it, I will give your information. Once again, it is Riverwalk Restaurant, located at 323 Water Street in Yorktown. You can give them a call at 875-1522, or you can look them up online, riverwalkrestaurant.net. He is Michael Kellum. The feast is ready, everybody. How are the bananas Fosters? Everything good?
Everything's good to go.
Everything's good. Can't wait for Aubrey to try a little bit of okra.